Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Duolingo. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are tracking two very distinct counts where in the white scenario we are tracking possible direct continuation to the upside, where so far we have completed a wave 1, a wave 2, and we are in the larger wave 3, within which we are expecting to form an ABC structure as we are tracking a larger leading diagonal forming here to the upside. Now in this case we do expect to form also a 5-wave structure within the internal wave C of the wave 3, meaning we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th to complete this larger structure, and so far we have only completed the wave 1, 2 and 3, and we were exploring the possibility of having formed a bottom already within the wave 4, but at this point we haven't formed a new low yet, but it seems very likely that it will happen, and that isn't necessarily a problem as long as we hold the area of support between the $398 level all the way down to the $240 level at the 61.8% retracement. We can still look for this to be the correction in wave 4 in white and still track continuation to the upside within this larger wave C of the larger wave 3. Now if we break below the 61.8% retracement, well then we would shift to the yellow scenario, which consists of the idea that instead of tracking still a continuation in this movement to the upside, it considers that we have here a wave 1 top, a wave 2 bottom, a third wave top, wave 4 bottom, and then this would be the 5th wave to the upside, forming a larger wave 1 complete within a leading diagonal, and then we would be expecting to form something like an ABC structure, could be WXY, doesn't really matter, within a larger correction in wave 2, where basically where the support zone for the white scenario ends is really where the support zone for the yellow interpretation begins, but this extends all the way down to the $97 level at the 78.6% retracement, and yeah, there is a high risk that we may see much further downside if we actually end up breaking the 61.8% retracement here in the white scenario. Now, with that said, in the shorter time frame, we have been exploring, as I just mentioned, a possible bottom, and we were looking for a continuation here in the 5th of the upside, within which we are still expecting something like an ABC structure. But we have been tracking here a WXY pattern to a possible completion of this wave 4. Now, I have been thinking about different paths that this correction could be really tracked as, and I am considering that this could really be something like a 1, 2, an ABC here in the wave 3, just to make it clear, this is the wave 3, and then a 4th and a 5th, and I could consider this actually just a wave A, and this is probably my preferred interpretation at the moment within this white scenario. And then we have here a quick correction in wave B and a another push down here in a wave C that should complete this larger correction in wave 4. Now in the previous video I have provided you some ideas of resistance to watch out for direct continuation to the downside, which would likely be within the yellow scenario. So of course it is clear that the yellow scenario does pose a very large threat now, since we haven't managed to form a bottom yet within the white support zone. Yeah, we seem to be heading towards the last level of support, so there is a considerable risk that we may break down into the yellow scenario. And we did push even past the 78.6% retracement, but it seems that we got rejected. We didn't manage to invalidate this possible 1-2 setup internally, and we can remove that idea of continuation to the upside. And yeah, we may be in the larger wave 3 in yellow at this point, but I do also want to point out, which is one of the reasons that I'm considering this interpretation in white, that the resistance zone for the white scenario, the first level of resistance, the 38.2% retracement, overlaps pretty much perfectly with the 78.6% retracement here in yellow, and it is not a very deep, it's not a very deep correction here in a wave B, and they do happen at times, but we did reach the area of support. We did so in an ABC structure. It is probably an ABC, could be a WXY, but the idea is it is a 3-wave structure, so we did fulfill the minimum expectations. And now in this wave C to the downside, we can expect a bottom as well for this large wave 4 in white, so there is still a chance for us to continue in this idea of the white scenario. And in that case, within this wave C, I am expecting to form a 5-wave structure where I would consider this a wave 1 down. Actually, let me zoom in a little. But yeah, this would be a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up. I could consider this another 1-2 setup, then this a 1-2, possibly even a couple of 1-2. Then this could be a third wave down, here a fourth wave up, and then a fifth down. We should still be seeing a couple of lows in the idea of this wave C developing as an impulse. Now, I do want to mention it is also possible for it to develop as something like a 1, 2, 3, fourth, and the fifth within an ending diagonal in the wave C. The main idea is it is likely to still push lower at this point, and at the moment I would still continue to track it as an impulse. And for that to still be applicable, I would need it to hold this ultimate area of resistance here in a wave 4 correction, in an internal wave 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, fourth, and the fifth. And that would be between the $273.4 level all the way up to the $289.4 level, in fact. But I do have to also need to point out, I do need to mention that this third wave could actually still extend. This could easily be a 1, 2, 3, fourth, and the fifth, as I just mentioned. And if we adjust for something like that, this area of resistance, let's do it like this, we would see that we pushed into the 38.2% retracement. It would apply and it would make a lot more sense. And we got rejected immediately quite strongly. So there is a good chance that we may still be within this wave 3, but I want to point out a more general area of support, which is why I am extending it to the entire length of this wave 3 and allowing all the way up to the $289 level. Now, if we are to break above this 50% retracement, the idea of an impulse developing within this area is pretty much done. I don't believe we do have the possibility of tracking still an impulse if we break above the $289 level. But if we are to look for a breakout, a more clear confirmation that we have already bottomed, at least locally, at least within this structure, I would actually need to see a break above the idea of an ending diagonal in a 1, 2, 3, fourth, and the fifth. And for that, I would need to allow this retracement to still extend much higher, actually, and it would be all the way up to the $309 level, the 61.8% retracement instead. And the support zone in that case, or sorry, the resistance zone in that case would start at the $277.6 level. But the $309 level would be a more clear indication that this entire movement, this entire wave C to the downside, is probably not unfolding as is, and we may see possibly a reset within this wave B. But to be honest, at this point, even if we push higher, even if we break above the 61.8% retracement, without forming a full structure here internally within this wave C, I am not too convinced of a bottom, and I would probably rather look for an extension here within this wave B rather than a complete reset done here within the wave 4 in white and a fifth wave already unfolding. Now, it would be within an ABC structure, this wave 5, it would be a diagonal structure or part of a diagonal structure, and it would be difficult to outrule any such possibilities, but it's about probabilities here. And if we break right now directly above the 61.8% retracement, I will be looking for a reset here within the wave B. And then what else could we really be tracking here? Well, probably not much, except maybe tracking a possible, we can't even do something like this, maybe a trend line that would allow us to tell when this wave 3 is likely to stop, although in this case it doesn't apply too well. It would have applied very well for this internal wave 3, where if we manage to watch before, yeah, if we were looking for direct continuation to the downside for something like this, we could have seen with pretty good probabilities when we were about to start a large wave 4. Yeah, we pushed into the trend line and broke it. So yeah, this is pretty clearly a wave 4. But yeah, at this point, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.